Alright people, today I'm going to customize and upgrade my Fluval 307 canister filter, mostly using Seachem products. And when I say mostly, I mean literally the only product I'm using that is not Seachem is the filter floss, I'm pretty sure. Now first thing first, let me clarify, this video is not sponsored by Seachem. I bought all of these products using my own money and it cost so much, man. Now before I show you guys the individual products that I got for the Fluval 307, let me quickly explain to you guys why I'm actually upgrading the canister filter, because yeah, I'm gonna be honest, the Roma 240 is not looking great at the moment. As most of you might be aware, I did have a few problems over the summer with my aquariums, and yeah, one of the things that kind of happened in my Roma 240 is it kind of went from this beautiful planted aquarium which just looked amazing to, well, it looks like this now. A lot of the plants have unfortunately passed away and there has been an outbreak of hair algae. So I started looking into what I can do to kind of help that problem, and that's when I came across the Seachem products. To be specific, it was the Flourish Comprehensive and the Flourish XL. Apparently these add in some very important nutrients for the plants, and one of them is a alternative to CO2 in that. So yeah, for a planted aquarium, adding in these liquids can be very beneficial. And yeah, whilst I was doing my research, that's when I naturally came across all of the other Seachem products, which I'm about to show you now. And yeah, they all have different little reasons for why I'm adding them into the canister filter. Alright, cool. Now let me quickly show you guys everything that I bought for the Fluval 307. And the first thing is right here, which is the denitrate. Now that goes into the top tray. That's where usually you will find the carbon pads in that. We're going to add this whole 500 milliliter bottle into that. And on top of that, I also got some Purigen for the top compartment. This Purigen is a 100 milliliter pack, and that should be enough for the Fluval 307. And the last thing that I got for the top compartment is PhosGuard. This should take down the phosphate levels, and yeah, let's see how it goes there. The next thing is the matrix. The matrix is what you replace the bio rings with, and according to many people online, this is so much better than the bio rings. However, the only thing I'm a little bit confused about is how is that going to work in regards of the beneficial bacteria. Like if I take out all of the bio rings now and just replace them with this, isn't that kind of gonna shock the aquarium? I don't know. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out half of the rings, put the matrix inside, leave it in there for a few weeks, and then take out the rest of the rings. So that way the beneficial bacteria can start building on these and the aquarium can stay stable with the ones that are on the bio rings, if that makes sense. Oh, by the way, just to be exact, this PhosGuard package was actually for the FX6, and that's 250 ml. The one I'm going to use for the canister filter is this package, which is 100 ml. Now, I've also bought some bags. Now, these are filter bags, and guys, I am very well aware that I probably could have bought some cheap bags from Amazon. I saw some for like 10 for like £5 or whatnot, but guys, I wanted to stay on the safe side. I know Seachem is a reputable company, so their products should be good quality, and I'm literally using Seachem products, so yeah, it just made sense to me to actually use these. Now I've got the bag, which is this one, which is what they recommend to use for the Purigen, because the Purigen is very small. And then for everything else, I got the small zip bags. These should be good enough for everything else apparently. By the way guys, I got every single one of these products from Amazon, so I'm going to leave Amazon links in my description if you do want to check some of these out. Alright, I've got everything here, and let's go upgrade the canister filter. Alright, cool. We are by the Roma 240 and I've got everything right here. Now, as you guys can see, it is in the evening, so the light is actually starting to turn off. But anyway, it's not the aquarium we're focusing on. We are going to focus on the filter. By the way, guys, if you're wondering, the reason you can see this is because this broke and I have no idea how to actually fix it. I have an idea, but yeah, I've just been a bit too lazy. Alright, cool. Now, here we have the canister filter. We are probably going to need a bucket, so and here is the filter floss that I'm using, by the way. We're gonna need a bucket to rinse some of this media. I'll take one of those out, and then of course we have the filter itself. Oh god, I'm gonna have to squat so much today. Now my mom always tells me off for not putting towels on the floor, so I'm actually gonna put towels on the floor this time. Let's get this filter out. Oh, alright, cool. I've actually cleaned this filter not too long ago, so it shouldn't need anything to get changed or anything like that. So we're just gonna literally replace the things that need to be replaced. Alright, so we're actually gonna need 2 buckets. So I'm gonna get the second one bucket I'm going to use to pour the stuff inside from the filter for now. That is this and this whole cartridge, which has all 3. Can you guys even see the filter? I hope you guys can. I'm gonna move that over here. That's the top cartridge. This is where we're gonna put, let me actually stand up, there you go, so you guys can see. So this is the top cartridge. This is where we're gonna add in the PhosGuard, the denitrate, and the Purigen. So that will go here. When you first set up your canister filter, it's going to have these phosphate pads inside, and it's going to have the carbon. So we're gonna take all of that out. Let me actually do that now. So we'll take these out, just like that. And then yeah, on one side I'm gonna put Purigen, on the other side I'm gonna put the denitrate, and then on top of each I'm gonna put some PhosGuard, and then we're gonna top it off with some filter floss. So that's gonna be the first cartridge. Now the second cartridge is where we have the bio rings. Now like I mentioned, I am not sure whether it will be a smart idea to remove all of the bio rings and just replace them all with the matrix, because we will be removing a lot of the beneficial bacteria. So what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take out half and pour half of the matrix in there, maybe even all of it, and then give it a week or 2, and then I'll remove the rest of that and then just split them evenly. And that's it really. Here we have the coarse sponge, which we're just gonna leave, and oops. All right, cool. Now here we have the matrix. Now the matrix is, well, basically some rocks that look like this. And I'm just gonna pour them into this bucket here. And yeah, we're gonna give all of this a nice little rinse. All right, cool. I've rinsed it all out. How are we gonna do this? All right, I'll definitely take out half. All right, half the cartridge is empty. And then I'm just going to add the matrix in here. I'm starting to think that maybe, what do you guys think? Should I do it half and half or what? I'm so confused about what to do. Okay, you know what, guys, I've decided this. I'm gonna take out majority of the rings and kind of pack both sides with a bit of matrix. Alright guys, this is the matrix. I'm hoping I didn't pack it out too much. Alright, cool, and then we can add that back in here like that. Nice. That's these 2 trays sorted. We still have a bit of matrix in here. Now let's sort out the Purigen. The Purigen is going to go into this bag called the bag. Might as well open this, take a look at it. Okay, wow. So this is the special bag that we use for the Purigen. What? Oh my god, I bought the bag when the Purigen already comes in a bag. Wow. Well, that was smart. Great. Okay, is this the same bag as well? It is fully. So you guys know, Purigen already comes in its bag. All right, we're gonna add that in here. Like that. Can add this bag back in here. You never know when we might actually need it for something else, so it's not the end of the world. Alright guys, it turns out that the small 100 milliliter bags of Purigen come with a bag already, but if you get the bigger packs like the one I got for my FX6 filter, that's where you're going to need to buy that separate bag for the Purigen. And then let's get the denitrate. So this right here is the denitrate. I'm going to add these on the other side. I've rinsed the denitrate, that's all in here. And we're actually going to use one of these bags. This is a small Ziploc bag from
Seachem. I don't know if you guys can even see. Let me move the camera down a bit more. There you go. Now you guys can see full on what I'm doing. Yeah, cool. All right. So let's bring this over here. All right, cool. Whoa. Nearly dropped backwards there. All right. So that's the bag of the denitrate. Hopefully that fits in here snugly. Wow. Do you know what, yeah? I'm so confused because it says this is for 200 liters or whatnot, but it barely fits. Maybe I'm supposed to split these into 2 bags, who knows? As you guys can see, I do not plan out my videos at all, guys. I don't know what to do. There's too much. I thought this is how much you're supposed to put in. All right, I'm just gonna use a second small bag. I'm gonna split them into 2 bags across both sides. Hopefully that will do the trick. All right, that's about half in each. I honestly thought I didn't have enough, but looks like I got too much. I don't know how we're gonna fit in the phosphate if this is already struggling to go in, the PhosGuard. All right, cool. You managed to fit them in, barely. But let's see. No, the PhosGuard, which is here. All right, cool. At least I know the PhosGuard also came in another bag. That's good. That we can just kind of pop in here, like that. Cool. I don't know whether this is now all a bit too much. I'm really confused. I did not expect these compartments to not be big enough. We're gonna add some fresh filter floss on top. I'm gonna put a small layer on top here like that. There you go. Now question is it going to fit in here? Yeah, we can get some in. All right, now if we add this here. Yeah, guys, we've got a fully customized 307 canister filter now. So I'm gonna add that back in here now, like that. Hopefully that fits in nicely. It does. And then just take the lid and put that back on top as well. Alright guys, just really quickly, I'm here still by the aquarium. I've done some real quick research and apparently it is completely fine for the matrix to be filled to the brim. That is normal, especially when you're using a 307 canister filter because it has that middle divider and that. But as long as the water can get through, that is fine. Same with the denitrate and the Purigen and the PhosGuard of the top compartment. Even though it is very tightly packed, it is completely fine. Once again, as long as the water can pass through and there is no significant drop in flow, it should be all fine according to my quick research that I've done. Obviously, if you have a different opinion, then please let me know in the comments. But yeah, I thought I might as well quickly film this little segment because I'm sure there are going to be some people who are going to try the same thing and they may also get a bit confused like, yo, is it meant to be this packed? Once again, according to my research, it should be fine. And yes, if you get a 1 liter pack of matrix for your Fluval 307 canister filter, there is going to be a little bit left over like there was in mine. But yeah, anyway, I just wanted to tell you guys, so let's get back to the video. Ooh, okay, cool, guys. Yeah, that didn't really go as I expected. First things first, the Purigen and the phosphates that came in those bags, like these, sorry, the PhosGuard and the Purigen that came in these bags, they already came in their own filter bags, so I did not need to buy that many filter bags, so that's a bit annoying, but at the same time I'm probably gonna need these for other things anyway, so we're just gonna keep these. Also, I did not expect to have some matrix left over in here. I thought it was gonna fill up the canister filter, but it didn't, so I'm probably gonna use this for something else. We'll see about that. And yeah, essentially what we took out of the canister filter is we took out the phosphate pads from the top and the carbon, and we took out the bio rings, or most of them anyway. There is still some in there which I'm hoping it's going to... So I just saw a random piece of matrix. I'm just gonna put that back in here. But yeah, hoping that the remaining bio rings will, you know, keep the beneficial bacteria alive. And yeah, guys, let's just see how it goes, man. Now, of course, this is not going to be an overnight change. That is very important to realize, guys. The matrix itself, that's just a replacement for the bio rings, and it's just much better at giving the beneficial bacteria a home. The denitrate, that's going to gradually bring down some nitrates. The Purigen is going to clear up the water, and the PhosGuard is going to bring the phosphate levels down, which should starve the algae, but we already have a lot of algae here, so it's going to take a while before all of that starts clearing up. So yeah, guys, it's not an immediate fix. However, all of these upgrades to the canister Fluval 307 filter should improve the overall quality of this aquarium and the water inside. According to my research anyway, like I said, I am going to post a video in a few weeks where I will give you my thoughts on how it's going and that, but yeah, for now, let's just see how it goes. Now, like I mentioned, I also got a lot of stuff for the FX6 filter, where I'm basically going to do the exact same thing. And yeah, the way you set up the FX6 filter is going to be slightly different, so that's why I'm doing a separate video on that. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how much I'm left over with, because once again, I did not expect the things that I bought to pack out everything so much. That was genuinely surprising. But of course, the FX6 is much bigger, so yeah, it's going to be different anyway. Wow. Guys, it's the next morning, and yo, I just turned the light on and the water is looking so clear, man. And yo, the tank is looking so empty without Jimbei, man. I mean, all the eels, they are all inside their caves. I mean, you can see Lily, my moray there, and you can see my ghost knife hiding behind there. The other eels are in here. We've got the snakehead gudgeon back there, got the archerfish. Now, the glass is a bit dirty. I still need to wipe that down, but the water itself, guys, after one day, it's already crystal clear. I can't believe it, man. How different it just looks, man. That is incredible, wow. Anyway, guys, this is how I've upgraded my canister filter. If you want to take a closer look at any of these products, I'm going to have all of them linked in my description. Also, keep in mind, this video is not sponsored by Seachem. I paid my own money for all of these products, but Seachem, if you guys are watching and you want to sponsor me, hit me up. And yeah, if any of you have ever used Seachem products yourself, let me know what your experience was in the comments down below. I would be so interested in reading them. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much for your support. Remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this every single week. And if you would like to see the day I set up my brand new monster aquarium from ND Aquatics, then click right here.